Hi, Sagittarius, Sun, Moon, and Ascendant. This is Dane, and I'm going to be doing your November 27th, 2023 full moon reading for you. Now, I ask if this reading resonates with you. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. It helps me out tremendously, so thank you so very much for doing so. If you're interested in a private reading, a private personalized meditation, or a healing, check out my website, daneharttarot.com, which is listed in the description box below, as are the cards that I'm using. And if you're interested in entering to receive a free reading, put a turkey in the comment box. A person will be chosen at random at the end of this month and announced via a separate video. I will not be contacting you in the comment box, so don't be scammed by anybody doing so. Now, before we begin this reading, let us clear the energy space, raising our own energy vibration and releasing any negativity. This cleanse and meditation will be accompanied by a loud sound. So take a nice deep breath in, exhaling whenever it feels comfortable for you. Releasing all negativity from the body like storm clouds, letting yourself feel calm, centered, and at peace as we enter into this safe and loving space. All right, Sagittarius, let's see what the tarot has to say. Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly. Angels and spirit guides. Oh, that's lovely. The Nine of Wands reversed, crowning the reading. Oh, go with Seven of Cups. Seven of Cups is crowning it, but should we have a dual crowning? That seems apropos. Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading. We have the Seven of Cups and the Nine of Wands reversed. We then have the Page of Cups. We have the High Priestess reversed. We have the Ten of Swords. Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly. We have the Hangman reversed. Angels and spirit guides. Oh, goodness. Okay, these two. 3. All right. So everybody wants to be heard today. We have the Ace of Cups reversed. We have the Seven of Wands. We have 2 more. We have Justice and the Moon. That's quite a lot coming through during this time. Yeah. Okay. See if you can see this all. All right, there you go. So this is going to be a time where you're releasing quite a bit. Now, I'm going to be incorporating the astrology along with the tarot. So let me know what you think about this and how this resonates with you. Okay. So this full moon is at 4 degrees, 51 minutes in Gemini. And this is our sister sign. So whenever we have Gemini come up, if it's in our chart or we have Geminis in our lives, they can be people who bring out the best in us. They can be people who bring out the worst in us. It's usually one or the other, one extreme or the other. It's usually not a middle ground. We're usually not apathetic to this energy at all. So do be aware of that during this time. All right. This is a mutable sign. We are used to, mutable sign energy. However, there's a lot of mutable sign energy during this time. Also, Gemini is a nonconformist energy, so being aware of that is also going to be super important. This is also starting a 5-moon cycle. It begins with Gemini, it ends with Libra, with strong and powerful endings and new beginnings. So taking that into consideration, that kind of we have this moon and 4 more moons to go that are going to be quite intense and quite powerful. And this is an intense, it's a volatile, and it's a fast-moving full moon. And we see ourselves here really looking at what we wish for, what we desire, what we want. And we're putting down the energy of, I have to defend myself, or I have to listen to what everybody else is saying. And there's really a sense here of I'm stepping into me, who I am, what I love, what I want. I'm stepping into me. And that is going to be a very important thing. We have the Ace of Cups here, and we have the Page of Cups. So we have this water sign energy coming in, Pisces, Scorpio, Cancer. If we're born on the cusp with Scorpio, that can be quite an important thing. This energy is going to have us be a learner, and we're going to be seeing that God, Source, Spirit, however you see the divine, the universe, is handing us a gift of healing, beautiful love. We're just not quite ready to take it yet. And that's interesting with the High Priestess energy as well, reversed. So let's see what Spirit has to say. Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly, angels and spirit guides. This is confidence reversed. And that's so interesting that we have the Nine of Wands here reversed. And then we have the Seven of Wands right here. There is a sense, an energy of I've been fighting for so long. And there can be a question of almost, what have I been fighting for? So when confidence comes up reversed, we have to recognize within ourselves that we might not be feeling confident all the time. And that's okay. We can be unsure of ourselves. We can question. We can feel hurt or overwhelmed or, kind of out of our depth. And this moon will bring that up in everybody. It won't just be us, Sagittarius. So being aware of this is super important because we can really think, oh, this is just me. Everybody else has it figured out. Everybody else is confident. Everybody else is moving towards success. And I'm just questioning, searching, seeking. So acknowledging that maybe we aren't always the most confident, but being kind and showing ourselves grace, that is going to be a very powerful thing for us to do. So we have 6 planets in mutable signs. All right. We have Neptune, Saturn, the moon, Mercury, the sun, and Mars. They are all immutable signs. It brings a whole bunch of changing energy. And what's very interesting here is that Mercury, the sun, Mars, and are in Sagittarius. So this is a time where we have this energy, especially of the sun. Here in Sagittarius, it's powerful. We kind of feel at home. And then this moon comes in and it makes us question. Now, Gemini is the thinking mind. And we ourselves also, Sagittarius, are the thinking mind. Everything begins with a thought. Everything begins with a word. And so here, our thoughts need to be anchored in our heart. Now, if you want to go deeper into the astrology, I highly recommend checking out Pam Gregory's site here on YouTube. I have her linked in the description box below. What Gemini is, so when we are anchored in the heart, when our thoughts are anchored in the heart, it really connects us with the tarot and with Gemini energy. Gemini is represented by the Lovers in the major arcana. And that is why Gemini is represented by the Lovers, because we need to be anchored in our hearts, in what we love. So in this intense, volatile full moon, we need to be the quiet warriors of our heart. We need to say, this is what I love, and this is what guides me forward. And this is where I need to be, and stand in the power for me. And that's going to bring us back to our dreams. That's going to bring us back to our crowning energy. Now let's see what chakra energy we need to be aware of during this time. Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly. This is truth. This is the throat chakra, which works fantastically with our Sagittarius energy and with the Gemini energy coming in. So here we need truth. We just need it to balance ourselves, to move forward in it. It's kind of like speak the truth, say the truth. And yes, we can get in trouble for it, right? We can say things that are true and people may not want to hear them. But standing in truth and standing in the power of ourselves is going to be one of the most important things that we can do. Focusing on our throat chakra, focusing on our voice is also going to be one of the most powerful things as a Sagittarius that we can do for ourselves. So this is going to be a time where Spirit is saying, hey, listen, if you want to strengthen your voice, start doing meditations, start doing chanting, or maybe you don't even have to meditate. You can just start chanting or you can hum. Both will activate your thyroid, both will activate your throat chakra and really accelerate you forward in an astounding way. So being aware of this energy and being aware of the throat chakra during this time and during this moon is going to be highly beneficial for us. It moves us then to the energy we need to be mindful of. angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly, angels and spirit guides. So we have two here because the cards are quite chatty with you today, Sagittarius. And we have the Princess of Pentacles and we have the Six of Cups. The Six of Cups is saying, hey, be mindful. We can live a lot in the past during this time. We can look at things and say it was better once upon a time, or this happened in the past, it could repeat itself. So be mindful about this. With the Princess of Pentacles, here is going to be a person who's kind of immature when it comes to money. And we can even find ourselves being a little bit immature when it comes to money, especially, with gift giving season coming up. We can sit there and think, oh, I can really overextend myself quite easily. It won't be such a big deal. And Spirit is saying here, hey, be mindful. Or you can have somebody who wants and wants and wants, and you want to make them happy. So you're going to think, oh, of course. And yet then we can find ourselves in a bit of trouble. So just be mindful about this during this time. There's also an energy here with the Page of Pentacles. It's like, be a student of your finances. Look at things very openly, very honestly for yourself, and say to yourself, kind of like break it down step by step. How do I need to move forward for me? Because I just am kind of seeing somebody putting their hands over their eyes. I know I do this myself. It's like, oh no, I can't possibly. And Spirit is saying here, no, look at things straight on and slowly and steadily embrace the way that you need to move forward financially for yourself. I myself am a Sagittarius ascendant, so rising side. So this makes sense. It all makes sense. Now with Mercury, the Sun, and Mars being in Sagittarius, all right, we are a freedom sign. We are a freedom sign. We are independence. We are freedom. We are independence, and we are truth. We are one of the two justice signs. We have justice right here, reverse. We are kind of swallowing the pill that not everything in life is fair. And that can be a very hard pill to swallow. That can be astoundingly intense. So being aware of this is very important during this time. Kind of coming to that conclusion without letting it devastate you is going to be very important. Now, be mindful during this time that we can also be very spontaneous and restless. We can really want to move things forward. We can see this with the Hangman reverse right here. We want to move things forward. We want to go after what we want. We're looking at, expanding, exploring. But Spirit is saying, beware of the ego, because we have here, I'm right, you're wrong. I'm right, you're wrong energy. And that can even make it hard so that we can follow our dreams. We can follow what it is that we want. So with the Seven of Cups coming forward, I love the narwhal with all the cups on his horn. But with the Seven of Cups coming forward, there is a real sense here of, I am connecting with my dreams again. I am finding myself. You might find yourself, going back to things that you loved when you were younger, that were completely inspiring to you, and you could have even forgotten about it. Oh, I forgot I really like this aesthetic, or I forgot I really like this or that, or, this brings me joy, and I'm connecting with that again, because we're letting go of the Nine of Wands that it's so overpowered us for so long, probably 9 years or better, where there's the sense of, I'm fighting battles. I have to stand guard. We have that with the Seven of Wands energy. We're still not fully erased from, I have to be on guard. But here with the Nine of Wands, we're being crowned with, I'm releasing myself from this entrapment, this ensnarement, this being overwhelmed, this always having to be at the ready, and also taking everybody's words, everybody's thoughts, everybody's actions so to heart. Sagittarius, we need to look at things and say, you know what? That can be your opinion. It just isn't mine. And that's going to be a very big thing. We become a student of the heart. We become a student of what we love and what we want. Now, it's very interesting that we have here the Ace of Cups reversed. So as we're becoming a student of our hearts, as that Gemini energy is coming in and saying, hey, let your thoughts be anchored in what you love, we have a hard time taking the gift of the healing, beautiful love. Okay, so we are going to be a student of our emotions. We can be diving really deep into, how do I feel? How am I connecting with this? What do I love? What do I want? How is the door opening to me? But with the Ace of Cups, we almost know that something more is coming. But we're thinking, am I emotionally ready for this? Am I emotionally ready for me to step forward in this energy? Now, Saturn is at 0 degrees, 56 minutes in Pisces. Okay. And Pisces, and this is squaring the full moon, this is squaring the sun, and this is squaring Mars. So this energy tears us, between, can I find a balance between what is traditional and what is innovative? Am I being a student of my heart? That's going to be a really big question during this time. Am I opening myself up to my heart chakra? Am I opening myself up to my inner child and what I loved and what brought me joy and what inspired me and what opened the doors? Or am I opening myself up to the traumas of my heart that, kind of started taking root when I was little and have been built off of as I have grown? That can also be something we see during this time. It's like, oh, it all started here, or oh, it makes sense because of this, and oh, I see it because of that. So here with the page of cups, the heart is going to be talking to you, and this is kind of like the time to sit quietly and listen, take it all in. You are an eager student during this time, and that's really quite extraordinary. If you have a water sign energy in your life, a Pisces, a Scorpio, a Cancer, all right, you are going to be learning a lot from them, whether it's I'm not going to be like that energy, or wow, that's really inspiring energy. It all depends on where you are in your journey and where they are in theirs. Children especially will be teaching you a lot during this time, but it's going to be connecting you with your own inner child. You're going to have mirrored back to you. If you have a child in your life, you're going to be mirrored back to you what you need to see, how you need to move forward emotionally, and what needs to be healed and what is powerful for you, like appropriate for you right now emotionally. It's almost a sense of like, where am I? Where do I stand? What do I love? What do I want? With the High Priestess reversed, this is very interesting. There's an awakening that's coming. Now, the sun is in a quintile with Uranus, and this is a big deal, all right? A quintile, not the prettiest of aspects because it brings obsession and war, right? The sun is in this quintile, the sun is in Sagittarius. We can find this time to be a little bit intense for us, especially because we do not want to fall into the pattern. I'm assuming that's why you're here, right? Because you're a open-minded person. You don't want to fall into the chaos that is engulfing this world. It is sad, it is overwhelming, and it is to be acknowledged, but not to be embodied. That's the best way I can feel to say it right now. But the sun is in a quintile with Uranus. So here we have the aspect of the quintile, war and obsession, and yet we have Uranus, which is all about awakening to the heightened state of being. And here with the High Priestess reversed, it's almost like we're afraid. It's not almost like we're afraid. We're afraid. The High Priestess takes a layer off our eyes. It unveils us just a little bit more to this world. It takes this layer of armor off and it lets us see. Now, some of us were born with a very thin layer. I myself am included in this. We're born with a very thin layer. You've been seeing things, understanding things, feeling things, more psychic, more empathic, more intuitive than those around you. You might have learned to shut it down because it really wasn't acceptable, or people laughed or scoffed or whatever, or it was overwhelming for you. This is going to be a time where, again, we have this psychic sense, empathic sense, intuitive sense come forward. We're going to be hesitant with it. Now, either we can embrace it, open ourselves up to the next level. It's kind of like leveling up in a video game. Or we can say, no, I'm perfectly fine at this level, and this is the level I want to play at. So be aware of this during this time because it can be a bit intense, and it will be a bit intense. With the 10 of Swords. The 10 of Swords is the dying away of the old self, the rebirth of the new. It's my minor arcana death card, right? That's Scorpio energy, but it's transformation, transformation, transformation. Now, during this time, there's the aspect of Mars squared Saturn. And Mars is go, 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 go energy, and Saturn is slow down and think it through. So during this time, even though we have all this weaponry behind us, because every single sword gets to now be ours, right? We've had a fortune of lessons learned guiding us forward. We're going to want to go. We're going to want to sit there and say, you know what, I've got this, I can do this. And we're going to want to be a little bit vicious about it. So just be aware of this. With the 10 of Swords, we've come to the completion of a cycle, and our knowledge, we can really use that as, this tremendously quick wit that is about us, this tremendously, intelligent way of looking at things that we have with us during this time, Sagittarius, because the Gemini energy is going to feed that wit. It's going to feed that curiosity that's already innate to us. And so we can go on the attack and say, you know what? I was put down. I was hurt. I was disappointed. And now I'm going to go after what I want. Forget everything else. Spirit's saying, be mindful about this. Be mindful how you resurrect, how you move yourself forward, how you embrace your glory and your greatness. Because the wounds, because we have been through them, we now know where to strike that will hurt the most. And Spirit's saying here, slow it down and connect, slow it down and connect. There's also a quintile between Venus in Libra and Jupiter in Taurus. All right. And the Libra aspect for us with justice reverse, we can be having a hard time with that. We can find relationships to be a little bit rocky right now, or we're questioning things. We're questioning how we want to move forward. We're questioning where it is that we want to be. But remember, Venus rules both Libra and Taurus. So there can be challenges in relationships. There can be challenges in finance. And we can very much have this energy of, I've been attacked, so I will attack. So just being aware of that instead of stepping back and saying, what is best for me? Where do I want to be? Who am I? How do I move forward? That's going to be one of the greatest ways that we can move forward for ourselves. Now, it moves us then to the Hangman. We are going to be seeing things differently. And by seeing things differently, we're going to be questioning, do I know how to move forward? Do I know where it is that I want to be? That's also very much in line with the High Priestess. The Hangman is awakening. It is painful awakening because coming into a spiritual awakening is never easy. But here we're looking at it with the Hangman and we're thinking, maybe I was wrong. Maybe I should be like everybody else, or maybe I should abandon what was once really important to me and go down this road, or be just like this, or be just like that. Staying with an awakening, that is a personal choice. I will never tell you to walk that road or not walk that road. That is completely up to you. And Spirit would never tell you that either. I'm just speaking for Spirit, or speaking with Spirit. There's a power here with the Hangman. There is something here where you're starting to look at it differently, or you're starting to question yourself, or you're coming to a realization that you had been questioning your awakening or your specialness. I want to say there's a specialness to you, Sagittarius, and you've tried to walk away from it and it keeps on pulling you back. It's kind of like a rubber band. You can stretch it so far and then it snaps right back. And that energy is coming forward here. So just know that no matter how far you try to go from it, it still snaps you right back to where it feels like you need to be. And it is spiritually where you need to be. Now, Mercury is conjunct the galactic center. This brings divine energy forward. This brings divine intelligence and universal energy. So with the High Priestess, with the Page of Cups, we're taking it to a certain extent, more as a student, more as I'm looking, I'm searching, I'm observing, I'm seeing. With the Ace of Cups, God, Source, Spirit, however you see the divine, the universe is handing you this gift. Right now, we're like, pause it. This is overwhelming. I'm not sure how I want to move forward. And the page and the Ace of Cups is saying, okay, I'll give you a little bit. But right now, what we're going to see is that this is on pause and it will come forward fully for us. The Ace of Cups, opening us up to what we love, opening us up to what we truly want in life, that will come forward for us sooner rather than later. And all of a sudden, a door will be open and we'll be like, oh man, did I really want to close that? Or why did I close that for so long? So here, there is also going to be an energy that when we take this gift, there's going to be a cleansing of the heart. There's going to be a removal of a lot of negativity and an insight of ourselves that is powerful, authentic, and reassuring. There's a sense of like, oh, this is how my heart needed to heal. But we weren't quite ready to hear how our heart needed to heal, or to feel how our heart needed to heal. It brings us then to the Seven of Wands. Oh, also, before we go to the Seven of Wands, Neptune is squaring Mercury. So Mercury is very powerful during this time. So with Neptune squaring Mercury, this brings creativity and imagination forward. Okay. So here with the Ace of Cups, we want to take that energy and just love on it, love that creativity, love that imagination, and really open up our hearts. That's also with the Seven of Cups, that sense of being inspired, that sense of opening up a door that had been closed for way too long. And that will move us into a very powerful place. And that will also move our mind into a very powerful place, because with this full moon, the mind has no limits. It's almost like we can do anything. We are ruled by Jupiter. Jupiter is our ruling planet. Jupiter in Taurus is all about here and now. What am I going to manifest? How am I going to move things forward? And how am I going to go after what I want? With the Princess of Pentacles, the Page of Pentacles in the Rider-Waite-Smith deck, we need to be a student of that energy and not let that energy teach us lessons the hard way. That's going to be very, 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 very important. With the Seven of Wands, the Seven of Wands for me always represents itself like as a clenched fist. All right. If you've been here before, you know I say that a lot. Seven of Wands is a clenched fist. How long can you hold your fist in a tight, tight, tight clench, a tight, tight, tight fist? That actually punching somebody with a fist like this would really hurt you. It would probably break your fingers. And that's what the Seven of Wands is. The Seven of Wands is, okay, it's overwhelming, right? It's overwhelming. Battle after battle after battle. And I always have to be on guard. Spirit is saying, release the fist, release the battle, release the anger, release the pain, release the hurt. Stand up for what's important. Absolutely. This is not saying to be a doormat. Stand up for what's important, but walk away. Walk away from the nonsense. Walk away from the fools, or else you will just be exhausted and it will just be too much. So being aware of that is going to be super important during this time. We then have the moon reversed. This can bring fears forward. You might find that fears come forward very, very powerfully. It can make you fight or flight. It can also make you freeze, right? One of the three, fight, flight, freeze, can be coming forward during this time. But there's also a sense here of how do I balance myself? How do I embrace the darkness, but not in that like evil, malevolent way, but in that sense of how do I step into myself, step into the quiet, step into the connection without being overwhelmed? How do I follow me? And that's going to be a very, very, very important thing. You might find that during this time or before you have come to a realization, you might need to talk to a doctor or talk to a therapist or a friend or something or someone or journal, but you might be finding that you need a little bit extra help during this time, releasing yourself from fear, releasing yourself from the battles that you have been through and the way that your body has almost been programmed to always be on guard, always be, fighting, pushing, going after or defending yourself and defending those that you love. So here the fear can come forward. You can face it like straight on, and we'll see it like you're face to face with a wolf. And then all of a sudden the wolf backs away. All of a sudden, if you face the fear will back off and it will say, okay, you saw me. Because this almost is a crucible time. This almost is a time where you're being forged, you're being shaped, you're moving forward in a way that's going to be really quite distinct. And you're going to be surprised at where it takes you, Sagittarius. And right now it's like, okay, that transformation needs to happen. I needed to see that fear. We then have justice reversed. Some things aren't fair. Some things aren't just. We can also feel that things have been out of balance. That could be why we also reach out and need a bit of assistance. So with justice, understanding yourself during this time, understanding where things are out of balance and understanding what just will never be fair. That's going to be very, very, very powerful for you. And not trying to fix it. This isn't like, okay, I can Bob the Builder this, right? This is more, okay, I see this. I understand it. It doesn't need, it can be fixed. Like if things are out of balance in our lives, we can work on bringing harmony to that. But it's not going to be, I can make everything better instantaneously, which is kind of what we want to do. So be aware of this during this time, Sagittarius. So let's see what the moon has to say for herself. If this wasn't enough information, angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Ooh, okay. So let's see how far this goes. Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly. Angels and spirit guides, angels. Ooh, goodness. Okay. Fantastic. Let's go deeper. Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly. Angels and spirit guides. Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Wait, hold on. Okay, there we go. And one bonus card, because why the heck not? And it's sovereignty. It's the Queen of the Moon. So we're going to start with that bonus card. There is a real sense of majesty to you during this time, a real sense of power. And this moon is almost questioning, will you take that power? Will you put on that throne? Will you put on that throne? Will you sit on the throne and put on that crown? Will you move yourself forward in the way that you need to, in the way that you've longed to for so long, but is also scary? Because then what? Then what do you do? Then how do you move forward? Then what do you go after? What's the next goal? The sovereignty of the moon is coming forward to say there's power here. There's power for you. Embrace it, take it, move with it. Kind of like dance under the light of the moon and see what happens, see what unfolds. It moves us then. Oh, I love that. Step out of your comfort zone. I mean, dancing under the light of the moon, if for most people, is stepping out of their comfort zone. It brings us to action reversed. So we're having trouble with that action. It's kind of like stepping out of our comfort zone isn't something we want to do. We want to stay in our comfort zone. We kind of want to stay in that energy of I'm right, you're wrong. We do. We want to stay in the energy of what we know. And yet during this moon, we're going to find that we're being pushed forward. It's kind of like, well, what can you find out? How can you move towards your dream? What is it that we are releasing and not fighting over anymore to embrace how we need to move forward for ourselves? It brings us then to fruition reversed. And it says here, nothing will come of the situation. And that is also reversed. So nothing will come of the situation. The void of course, and that's what this card is times during the lunar cycle where things just go pear-shaped. It's like they just don't go the way you planned at all. You can make a million plans, and during a void of course, which only lasts a very, very, very short period of time, a minute or a little bit more, where it just won't go right. It just won't go right. So here, it's like, stop planning. Isn't there the saying, the future is what happens when we're busy making plans, or life is what happens when we're busy making plans? What we think is going to come to fruition is not. During this time, what we have planned, it's all going to go a little bit askew, a little bit askew. So here, Spirit is saying, can you step out of the plans and step into yourself? It's kind of like being much more present, being the student of the heart be what guides you. It moves us then to faith reversed, and it's time to take action. Again, we're hesitant with that action. We're hesitant to move forward, and we're hesitant with the faith because where has faith gotten us before? And that can be a loaded thing to say. We can be very faith filled. We can have, our spiritual practices, and we can think, okay, this is what's guided me through. But our soul can be weary. Our soul can be overwhelmed. And our soul can be saying, I've done everything right. What has it gotten me? Or it's just gotten me more pressure, more hurts, more pains piled onto my shoulders. Faith is intense. And so here, when Spirit is saying, let go and have faith in the changing faces of the moon, have faith in yourself, that's intense. And there's almost a fear of, well, I've done that before and it hasn't worked out the way that I planned. And Spirit is laughing and saying, but it's worked out the way I had planned. And the way Spirit never said the road was going to be easy. Never, never once. But it's interesting. And it brings us closer and closer and closer to our purpose here on earth. And that's a powerful thing. It brings us then, and that's what the High Priestess is telling us. That's why the High Priestess is reversed, because we're afraid to step into that power, because we have before, and it hasn't gotten us what we had wanted. It made us feel afraid or overwhelmed, or it made us question. We thought, oh, this will be smoother sailing, and it wasn't. It brings us then to change reverse, and confidence is your key to success. And Leo energy, which is what confidence is is your key to success, is ruled by the sun. Where is the sun? In Sagittarius. And so here, during this time, what we are finding is that we're afraid of change. We're afraid of stepping into our power. We're afraid of that transformation into who we need to be, who we want to be. Because what will it bring us? Here's the thing. Somebody's going to take up that mantle. Somebody's going to take up that power, take that sword out of the rock and claim their glory, and claim the glory that could be yours right now. We can be afraid of change, yes, because we get comfortable in the patterns that we are in, even if we abhorred them. Confidence is your key to success. If not you, then who? And why not you is a question that Spirit is asking. With the Hangman, resilience, and then prosperity lies ahead. What we are afraid of here when we're looking at things differently, because it's like, okay, I have to change the way I'm looking at things, because I don't think prosperity lies ahead. I think I'm schlepping around this huge, potted plant on my back, this earth tree. I like to think of it as, our what is it? Our tree of knowledge, our tree of life. And I'm never going to plant it. I'm never going to get to be where it is that I want to be, because prosperity doesn't lie ahead. What lies is an endless, arduous journey that might not even have any meaning to it. And Spirit is saying, no, it does. But it needs us to be brave and open up the door. Be brave and, connect with that next level. Because in that is where we will find our balance. But balance here is reversed until we take until we take the Ace of Cups. Balance is reversed until we take the Ace of Cups. And here is the full moon in Sagittarius saying, look at the bigger picture. Until we find balance, until we embrace our hearts, embrace what we love, and look at the bigger picture, we will always feel like we're missing something. We will always feel like, I just can't. And Spirit's saying, oh, yes, you can. It moves us to abundance. We are meant to live an abundant life. Now, it might not be a driving, fancy cars, living in a mansion life, and that's fine. But you are meant to live an abundant life. And it says here, your hard work is paying off, and that's reversed. So when we look at abundance and we look at the Seven of Wands, we look at what we're still fighting, what we're still going after, what, we're still tense about, we're still that fist over, releasing the fist and saying, I let in the abundance. I let in the prosperity. I'm done with the fighting. So we can start to see that our hard work is paying off. And maybe some of the hard work that we did, some of the fighting, some of the chaos was there just to simply teach us a lesson. And there's nothing simple about the lessons that we learn here on earth. It brings us then to will. Will we take in this energy? Will we look at the problems differently? Will we embrace this moon? Because your commitment is being tested. Your commitment to what you want and to the sense of, will my fear take over me? Or will I face that fear? And then understand that the shadows aren't so scary. Say, yeah, there can be monsters there, but it's not like that little kid that can never go to sleep without the lights on. The monsters aren't as real. And that's going to be important. Will we look at things and see ourselves as being able to be powerful? It brings us then to the realization, and that's reversed. As justice needs to come into play, as we need to release some things that will never change, and as we need to come into play with justice, because justice is justice, right? And we, Sagittarius, are truth. We need the truth. We just need the truth. Whether we like it, whether we don't like it, we just need to hear the truth. And sometimes you will never hear the truth from people. Some people are just master liars. They just lie. And that's great. And that's what you need to know about them. And that's what you need to know about certain energies. Here it says, be bold and make the first move. And that's what we need to do. But we also we'll be bold and we'll make the first move. We'll make the first move if we think it's for something greater than ourselves or more than just us. And Spirit is saying here, what is more important than the realization that you are the key, that you are the main player in your life, that you are the main character, and you need to go after what you want, what you desire, and where you need to be for you. What is greater than that? Our subconscious spirit message is imagine reverse. We haven't been imagining. It's very interesting. I was reading something, listening to something, I don't remember what, but they said you cannot imagine, you cannot create if you don't feel safe. If we have been constantly fighting, constantly on edge, constantly at fear or overwhelmed, we haven't been able to have time to imagine. And for our mind, for our sanity, for ourselves, we need to have time to imagine. We need to embrace that. It brings us then to our subconscious chakra message, which is inspiration reversed. This is the sacral chakra. We need to be inspired. We do. We need to focus on our sacral chakra. We need to focus on our inspiration. We need to focus on our sensual selves. And that's just not in a relationship or with somebody. It is saying, how do I live a sensual life? A life that is inspired. A life when people look at us and say, wow, they really got something there. They're really doing something that is extraordinary. Living an inspired life is seen and it is envied by others. It's not saying that we should be in envy, but it's, it's kind of nice. So here, living that inspiration, embracing what inspires us, that is a beautiful thing. And that is something here subconsciously we've kind of forgotten. It's become for everything else, or it's become the battles. It's become, life becomes real at times, like really real, really intense. You have people you need to take care of, or yourself you need to take care of, and things can become scary and overwhelming. But losing the inspiration of our existence is not where we want to be. Our subconscious energy to be mindful of is the hangman. And again, that is moving away from the awakening because it's painful. Hanging upside down is not an easy thing, but the position of the legs here, that is a position of awakening. So we're moving towards awakening, even though it's uncomfortable. And we need to remember that even though it's uncomfortable, we need to move towards that awakening. It brings us then to our subconscious tarot message, which is the Queen of Wands reverse. This is us. We are represented by the wands in the minor arcana, Sagittarius. And the Queen of Wands reverse is telling us, hey, get in touch with your magic, get in touch with your inspiration, get in touch with what you desire, because right now we can just be a little bit hot-tempered, we can be overwhelmed, we can be frazzled, and we can really find it coming out in the form of temper. All right. Some people like it comes out in the form of overeating, or it comes out in the form of, other ways. But for us, it's going to come out in the form of being quick to yell, or feeling very overwhelmed, or just kind of like tuning out. However we deal with being overly stressed and having our temper kind of flare, that's going to be the way it comes out now. So Spirit is saying here, if we don't want this energy to come forward, it is time to live in inspiration. It is time to say, what is magical about me? And it could be so silly as I like to bake, chocolate chip cookies, or I bake the best chocolate chip cookies. That is what is magical about me. Embrace that, move with it, and let yourself be inspired. Do something every single day, Sagittarius, that inspires you. Whether it be little, like whether it be the tiniest thing, or whether it be big, make time for it, because you will see then that you turn into the queen. You will see then that it all starts to change, and subconsciously you see yourself as great as you actually are. And that's the whole point of life, to see yourself as great as you actually are. Our subconscious Luna message is beauty and hold to your vision. Hold to your vision. Life is beautiful. Hold to your vision. Hold to your vision. There is beauty in the natural world. And I know I've said this before, so if you've been here before, do bear with me, or you can just fast forward. This is a face. It took me the longest time when reading these cards to see the face in this card. The outline of the cheek, right? The eye, the eyebrow, the lips, the nose. It's a face. And so here it is saying we can see something every day and never see the beauty in it. Now it's time to start claiming what is beautiful. Hold your vision. Hold the vision of beauty and see where it takes you. All right, Sagittarius, I hope this reading has resonated with you. I wish you nothing but light, love, peace, and happiness. May harmony always be with you. I am sending loving, healing energy to each and every one of you. I love you all, and stay safe. Let's end this reading with a meditation, a clearing away of negative energy, a raising of our positive energy as we embrace the power, intensity, and beauty of this time and of ourselves. So take a nice deep breath in, exhaling whenever it feels comfortable for you. May you move forward in peace and in harmony, Sagittarius. May blessings and prosperity always be with you. I love you all. God bless, and have a blessed moon. Bye.